Hello, and welcome to the hit podcast by name of Corn Corner Podcast. My name is Booker Rant, and you teach a man to fish, he'll learn how to fish, but hopefully you're friends after that time, so you have a friend to give you a couple of fish from that time.
So true. Uh, my name is Cam Damage, and I'm not Team Edward or Team Jacob. I'm Team Charlie Swan.
That is true. And speaking of that, we're going to be talking about 5 of the best movies that God has ever made. He put these on the earth for us, and we have watched them. We're going to be chatting about them.
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Well, since Cam has nothing to add, we're going to roll the intro. Everyone, there's a movie by name of Twilight. I had never seen them.
When did you start? Like, when was the first you watched Twilight #1? When did that happen?
Maybe a month ago. Maybe.
I think it was like 2, because I remember us watching the second one all together on Discord.
Yeah.
But whatever, irrelevant. So in the past very short period of time, you have watched all 5 Twilight movies.
Yes.
How do you feel? Are you changed?
I do honestly feel changed. I feel like I missed the cultural thing everyone was doing, and I finally did it.
Yeah.
So I feel different. I feel, God, I got so many thoughts, but I don't know where to start with them.
Well, so do we want to go chronologically, or do you want to go reverse order?
I think we should go chronologically, but I think I should probably say that I don't feel like inspired or something. Like, I don't feel like they're movies that I hadn't seen that I'm like, damn, why didn't I say that earlier? Because they're so inspiring. This one for me was not that. It was fun, and we'll get into it though. But I don't feel like
I don't think anyone watches Twilight so they can feel inspired. For the record.
Oh, okay. Did you like the first movie?
Yeah, I think I saw it in theaters back in the day. Because
Okay.
I had sorry, I'm getting all my stuff up on the screen here. There's so many things happening. I had a friend who was a girl that was not gay. Anyway, and she wanted to see it, so I went with her as a friend. And
yes,
I did enjoy it in the way that one would enjoy a terrible movie.
We held hands as friends do. Okay,
just gal pals, if I may.
She had me kiss her on the cheek. These are things that people do. Okay, friends.
It's funny because Brad got further with her bass wise than I did.
Wow. And one thing about you is that you love the bases.
Yep. Love to track that.
You talk about people, and then you'll label them 3s or 4s, maybe 1s.
Yeah.
Where, and that's kind of how you remember who they are, is like the bases that you've gotten.
Yeah. that is the case.
That is the case.
So but then I don't think I revisited them because they kept coming. The hits start coming and they don't stop coming. And I don't think I did that until later in life.
It was a book first.
Yeah, and I have not read it.
I don't think
I do have the first one, I think.
Do you think that it's probably better than the movie? I would imagine this is a case where the book is better than the movie.
I feel like no. I feel like the movies have to be better because you're getting the like visual representation of these characters and the actions and the soundtrack along with it. So it's a whole feast for the senses. The movies are,
that's such a good way to describe cinema, as a feast for the senses, because cinema really does involve every sense that we have been given.
Yep.
And Twilight will entangle all of them.
So my initial question, Twilight, is would hypothetically, you are in Bella's position, but imagine that Edward is less like abusive, essentially.
Yes.
In a way, would you be begging Edward to turn you into a vampire? Because that is a plot point of every single movie, well, up until the fourth one, when he's forced to do it. But would you be begging for that, or do you not care? You know?
I think we should say that this episode will contain spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. This episode contains spoilers for Twilight.
Okay.
If you haven't seen them since the last one came out 10 years ago, then I don't know what to tell you.
What if somebody is really mad about that? All right, it's a good question, because for me, I want to live forever. Absolutely. So I would kind of feel like, and especially it's like sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, Bella was like, what, like 18 in that movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think they waited until she turned 18 at least to do the thing in the fourth movie.
Yeah.
Which is that how old she was? Because that's absurd.
Yeah, I think she was
that's
little...
like...
Well, okay, and one of them she had a high school graduation, didn't she?
How old was Bella in Breaking Dawn Part 1?
There's Hold a lot of... Yeah.
Okay, so she got engaged to Edward, and they marry in Breaking Dawn 1 month prior to her 19th birthday. So homegirl got engaged, married, and pregnant by like ostensibly 19, which is... God. I did not think about that until right now, honestly. And that's insane.
I think that's something to say about it, is that she did get pregnant and life finds a way.
Yeah. Well, life did find a way. And you saw it with that amazing back-breaking...
The baby... the baby into the fire.
Yeah. I really just want to... I know you said you wanted to go in chronological order, but I really just want to talk about Breaking Dawn.
No.
The duo.
No, we got to go first one, because I have thoughts. Right. But okay, right. The whole movie I think to myself, I'm like, Edward, you better change her, because I mean, to be 18 forever, probably pretty cool. To like stay in 18, that body, but then to like get life experience, I mean, come on.
But what the realist in me is just thinking of the horrifying aspect of, like, if I got turned into a vampire at 18,
yeah.
Well, I guess then being trans would be really fucking easy, honestly, because then you just like do whatever cosmetic procedures and heal. Like,
you would wait 100 years, and then no one. You just, I mean, I guess there's a degree of loneliness where everyone would die, but I don't know. I feel like there's pros and cons. For me,
would you turn your polycule into a bunch of vampires? Hypothetically, like friend group, your platonic polycule, as they call it.
If I was a vampire and you were like, change me, turn me, it would be a real ethical question.
You would.
Would I? I don't know.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. I don't know if I would. I mean, listen, maybe I would wait a little bit. Maybe I'd wait a year. I'll let you cook for a year and see how you feel about it.
I'll be your little familiar, like Guillermo and What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. You're gonna turn me today? I made you hash browns. You don't even eat, but
Oh God, that's so fun. It's such a good show and movie. No, I would turn. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty boring. And also, I'd want you to be. I want us to be this. You can't be. Yeah. I think that'd be fun. We'd be doing the corn.
I can't be like 50.
No, because anyway. We need to be preserved how we are. But yeah. So so the first movie to me is cringe because every time Bella does something, she's like, and it's a whole thing, right? She bite her lip. She does different things like that.
There's one. I'm sorry, I cannot possibly go in order, but maybe it is in the first one. I forget. But there's one where like Edward's in peril in some way, and she does this thing. It's like when they're with the Volturi or something. She does this like no, like and like grabs her head and it's like no, like as if she's like a Hitchcockian era, starlet being like no, like
yeah,
like it's insane. Anyway,
you do kind of wonder about the direction there because there were some strange things that they kind of told him to do.
Yeah. And I know that the actors didn't like it. Like
Mm.
they were like, that's how I was told to do the thing. So that's just what they did.
And
Which respect.
I mean, I do imagine a lot of this is in, you know, it's like every time they cut to Bella, she's doing something a little bit goofy, you know, a little thing, that a little Bellaism, and you know, they're picking those spots and editing and putting them there. So it is kind of funny. It's like, I mean, obviously that was the director's, like, you know, vision for the movie, but it's like, it is kind of weird that they kind of latched on to that being the thing. But because the thing that I think my main thesis statement about the work, if you will, is that I don't think they're bad movies. Like, I don't think they're bad premises. I think it's a really cool idea. Like, my favorite one was the third one.
Which, hold on, I'm looking at
because the third one was where the wolves and the vampires worked together, and they had to overcome the odds, and they worked together as friends.
Yeah, versus the newborn vampire army.
Yes. So it's like, I love that one. That was cool to me.
That was a big Jacob versus Edward one also, where they were like vying for for Bella like the whole time.
It was. And you know, you do think to yourself, like, they made Bella so weird and stuff. You're like, she's her? This is what we're doing. This
she drives him crazy, you know.
Nothing against Kristen Stewart, obviously. It's just, it's Bella.
I love her.
Like, her character. But I think that, so I loved the third one. I thought that the second one was kind of, I forget exactly what happens in the second one, TBH.
The second one is when, okay, you said you want to start from the beginning, and then you immediately did not. So
yeah, I mess up.
We all know what happens in the first one. No one cares. Like, she meets Edward, and there's many hilarious scenes, like the one where the fan in the bio room blows her scent towards Edward, and he like is gonna vomit, seemingly, but really it's that he's like so into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and like the collective gaslighting of everyone that they're not vampires. In the second one, I think it's important to touch on the iconic line of "Where have you been, Loca?"
Oh yeah,
like, which is we all love.
Yeah.
But the second one is where Edward goes away, and I forget exactly why right now. And there's like that depression montage of Bella, and I forget what song it is, but it's just her sitting in the window, being depressed, looking outside, and the seasons passing.
Yes.
And
yes.
like
in the chair. In the chair.
Yeah.
I like that scene actually. I thought the scene was pretty.
Yeah, she does all the dangerous things to get Edward's attention, including
jumping.
When she like gets on the yeah.
Yeah.
But also riding that guy's bike, and there's that the moment where she says something to Edward like out loud though, and she's on the back of the bike with the guy, and the guy's like, "What'd you say, babe?" And then like waits less than a beat, and it's like, "I don't care." Like, actually, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good stuff.
The second one, now that I remember, was difficult for me. Like, the first one was like fun and like you're getting introduced, so I thought it was like fun. But the second one was like kind of hard. I was like, oh, it's kind of bad because it's like, I don't know, she just kept doing the weird stuff like that. And then the third one happened, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's great. But then,
yeah, exactly.
The fourth one happens, and that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit.
But why?
So, okay, so the fourth one was hard for me because I felt like the whole movie was just people. I feel like it was just constantly Edward and Bella having sex. Constantly.
Well, that was the point.
It felt like a softcore P word. It felt, I just was sick of watching it, to be honest. I thought it was garbage. It didn't do anything to progress the story. It was like constantly, like every time that they would touch, it was like montage.
But did you not like the montage of them, of like Edward avoiding having sex with her?
No.
That wasn't hilarious to you? Come on.
It was funny.
Oh, we're playing chess now. Like, that's the way that people pass the time, which is like insane.
It was funny in the first movie, but then the fourth movie, that was the only thing that happened.
Also, I like that it shows like it's supposed to be like how restrained he is with how he touches her, but like how he like absolutely wrecks the bed,
I
which
know.
is like, did you buy that bed then? I don't, whatever. Anyway, but like he like shatters it, and there's
Yeah.
like stone that he shatters while he's like banging her or
Yeah.
something, but she's fine. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're just gonna go with it.
It is believable to me that they have a bunch of properties everywhere because they're so old. So they have, acquired, you
Oh, is
know.
that supposed to be their house?
I took it as being their house because
Me being like, this Airbnb that they're wrecking.
got this Verbo.
Crazy. Well,
um,
there were like cleaning people that came, which to me is not like a normal, like, I guess that they would have that because they're rich and stuff, but like
yeah,
that's just like the local like racially charged interaction with the cleaning people
yeah,
also was like
yeah. That was another thing that I didn't like. I was like, oh, this feels a little bit sticky. I don't know.
I
Um,
like when you were watching and I texted you about things and you just said you screamed out loud. What were some moments where you screamed out loud
oh,
while watching Twilight?
when the back break screamed,
Yep.
when the baby gets thrown in the fire
Yeah.
because it looks like a little
By
doll.
Dakota Fanning.
Yes. And then so what else did I scream at? I guess I screamed at
Did you scream at the baby reveal? Like the Renesmee reveal?
every time that the fucking name Renesmee came up, I screamed. What a crazy Renesmee. What a
Have you ever seen
fucking
the puppet that they made originally?
no.
Like instead of the CGI baby? Please do me a favor real quick. And on here, Google Twilight Renesmee like animatronic, so we can all get a live reaction of you when you see it for the first time, because it's really important.
I gotta figure out how to spell animatronic.
Okay, well. Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's what they
That baby's
they're going with
90% forehead on that baby.
it's insane that they like, because the budget on these movies had to be astronomical by that point, especially when they were just like pumping them out, and that they were like, let's do a camera test on this puppy, put her in there,
Holy
coach.
shit.
And then someone was like, that can't.
That is quite funny to me.
Yeah.
I thought, the name of Renesmee really, really got me. Also, it was all the dream trope. I don't
Oh,
know.
the final battle.
I mean, look, I don't know. I think actually I've kind of thought about it for a minute, and I kind of feel okay. The final battle was awesome. I will say, like,
Yeah.
what's the dad's name? Gets his head ripped off.
Oh, fucking what's his Carlisle.
Carlisle. When that happened, I was like, holy shit. And then, Dakota Fanning gets more bold, and then a lot of stuff happens. I thought it was great. And then the little wolf, it's a good battle. And then you realize so I saw that it was a vision, and I was like, oh, that's cheap. But then I kind of liked how they're like, we don't need all this. Well, actually, I think that happened because that guy was gonna die.
What, Arrow, the main guy on the bad side?
Yeah, because he was gonna die. Because someone
didn't they? Oh yeah, no, they didn't actually.
in the vision.
Yeah, because he was like, never mind, I don't want to die. So
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
I don't like that trope because it's like the same as in the Marvel movies where they like snap everyone away, but then it's like, oh, JK, like they can come back, and it's not really that big of a thing because there's no stakes at all.
Yeah,
it's a good vampire pun. No stakes.
No stakes.
Anyway.
Yeah,
so like nothing mattered.
Yeah, but that battle did feel, I don't know, it did feel kind of cool because like the whole time you're just kind of angry at them that they won't just get along, and it's just like there's no reason not to get along. Like, they're supernatural creatures. The wolves and the vampires can't just figure it out. Come on, fuck off. What's going on? There's not like, it's so dumb. Just figure it out.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just like team up as the supernaturals versus like you don't even have to be versus humans, but also like kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I googled Twilight, most craziest Twilight facts. Number 3, Dakota Fanning only says one word in the last film. Wonder how much she got paid.
Wow.
Bella's prom dress only cost $20. Yeah, we know.
I can't remember the
It looked bad.
prom dress. I do.
She did like one of those things where she wore like leggings and Converse. Like
Oh
under the
yeah.
dress. Yeah.
I remember when she was trying to wear heels for the wedding, and like I don't know, one of the like Alice or one of them was like, "You gotta wear them," and she
Yeah.
was like,
And then she was like,
"Yeah."
I couldn't possibly walk in these.
It's like walking like
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was like, that annoyed me so much. I was like, I was gonna say something that you reminded me of. Oh, Bella's wedding dress, beautiful. Holy shit, that dress was incredible.
The lace.
Yeah, that was an amazing dress.
Did you know that in Forks, Washington, you can stay at the Swan House? It's on Airbnb. And if you look at the listing, they have cardboard cutouts of the characters in the various rooms.
It's an actual like that house.
Yeah. Like it's a listing on Airbnb, and you can go stay there. And
Wow.
like in Bella's bedroom, there's like an Edward cutout. Like,
wow, that's so funny. I wonder how much
if these walls could talk.
Oh my god, that is the kind of weird thing you'd think. Oh, I think it's also weird that that Jacob, would showed the dad that he was Wolf.
Oh, that was the funniest part. That was one of the funnier Jacob parts where he like reveals it, and instead of like, it's like the trope in like so many shows and stuff where someone's like, I gotta show you something, and they won't just tell you, like they won't just say with their words, like, all right, so this is gonna be crazy, but hear me out. I'm a werewolf. I transform into a huge fucking wolf. Here, I'm gonna do it right now in front of you. And instead he's like,
getting naked.
I'm gonna get naked as an underaged boy in front of you, Charlie Swan. And Charlie being like, whoa. Like,
yeah.
all of that. Also, the Twilight house is $414 a night.
I guess
it's not bad.
Not bad. You know, I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the reviews now because it's got 4.99 stars out of 477 reviews, which is a pretty incredible track record. So the top review is, dream come true. It was surreal watching the Twilight movies in Bella Swan's house. It's a very immersive experience.
I mean, think about like if there was like a True Detective house.
Oh yeah.
You would stay there in a heartbeat.
That's absolutely true. Like Russ shithole apartment with like a mattress on the ground and that's all.
Yeah, or like what is that? What is his like girlfriend's apartment or whatever? I'm trying to think or the house. I don't know.
Marty's house.
Yeah, like or Marty's girlfriend that he's cheating on his wife with.
Oh, okay.
Like her
Boobs
apartment.
McGee. I wouldn't stay in her place. If it was Russ' apartment, yeah, totally. Or like the creepy bad guy's mansion out in like the bayou.
I think you would stay in Boobs McGee's house. Yeah, if there is a Russ Cole house, I think you would be in it.
Sorry, I'm like so distracted by all this bullshit.
Everyone, this is a good time to tell you that we have a Pay What You Want Patreon. Go in there, support us fiscally, and you'll receive the same benefit everyone does. There are 3 tiers. They're exactly the same. You get an ad-free episode. But mainly, you get the benefit of knowing that you're supporting us in a fiscal way.
And we love that.
I do like it. I'll tell you what. It's nice. Panko likes it as well. This guy.
Someone asked me if Panko and Wolfie were both my stuffies and something else, but it made me like really offended for Panko. Like I wanted to be like, Panko's not a stuffed animal. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
like,
Panko's...
why would you? Why?
Panko needs a bath.
This fucking thing.
So anyway, I would say that I'm happy that I got to be a part of Twilight, the phenomena that took over the country. Um, music in it was good, I think. Right?
I thought you were going to have a lot more inflammatory things to say about it, and that's why I wanted to talk about this episode. You know,
No, I mean,
I thought you were going to go in.
I do. I mean, I'm going in. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that happened in it here. Oh, here's my other big critique is that I think that the fourth movie could have been half the length, and then the fifth movie could have been half of the beginning of the fifth movie should have been the end of the fourth movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fifth movie should have been all fight.
So then I'm just breaking down the two are so good to me. What is out of all the vampire friends that came to help fight?
Wait, you think the fourth one is good?
4 and 5 are the best Twilight movies in my opinion. And I'm not saying they're good movies. I'm saying they're the most entertaining Twilight movies.
That's so funny to me because like I think 4 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
But it's like
it.
exactly it's batshit and it's like so good. Like all they get to the honeymoon place or whatever, which may have happened at the end of the third one. I don't remember. But like she like puts on lingerie and is all like, oh God, I've never done this before. And like smells her pits and shaves her legs really quick, I'm pretty sure. And there's like a bunch of insane stuff. And then they just go like have sex in the pitch black. And so like none of it was all irrelevant. And I don't, it's all these like little things. And then the fact that she gets pregnant and the next day has morning sickness is hilarious to me. And
I think it's something that she said, I need some human time.
I don't remember that.
She said like when she was talking to Edward about her needing to like get ready and in lingerie. She's like, I need some human time, which I thought was really funny.
I need to check everything out, test the waters.
Yeah.
Check the oil.
And then I think it was funny too. Is like I think like one of like the girl vampires packed the bag and only packed lingerie. I thought that was funny.
Alice did.
Yeah, I thought it was Alice.
She doesn't know, what humans actually do. She doesn't know that you need period undies or pajama bottoms. Apparently,
she didn't have to worry about that. It does. Alice, very cute.
Yeah, you do love Alice.
Yeah, one of the cutest.
Alice is very your type.
There's also the moderator of many of our different things. Sophie Sinclair likes Alice, and that's how I really got put on to her. I was like, oh, okay, this is something I should watch.
I like Emmett is my favorite because he's a himbo.
Is Emmett the big muscular one?
Yeah.
I had to ask because I watched it with Vitamin TB. I said, why does, because there's this one part where it's like Jacob as Wolf, Renesmee,
mm-hmm.
and then Bella, and then they bring Emmett along too. And I was like, why is Emmett going? And then like she was like, oh, it's because Emmett's like the muscle. Emmett's like the strongest. And I was like, oh, I didn't even like really like understand that.
But then Bella's almost as strong as him when she first turns. You
yeah.
know?
Well, that's what happens when you're a newborn.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of people don't want to do that.
Here's something I do have a question about. I heard that there's a lot of controversy around the imprinting thing.
Yeah. Expand on that. What do you mean? What is the controversy?
So I didn't take anything weird about imprinting. Like I didn't, but I heard that in the book it was more about like keeping the family line going. So it's like that. So since like Jacob imprinted on like Renesmee, that's like really not okay.
Yeah.
But I, not being a book reader of the Twilight ones, had no idea that was a thing. So I was like, oh, it's just because Jacob like wants to protect this baby. But then Bella freaks out. My baby. But
no,
to me,
you nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness monster.
That was funny. That was so funny. I did think that was a fun little part to put in there because Jacob he was just like so confident and cool about it. I like Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, given the options, Jacob is like clearly better, even though he's like terrible. The one scene where he's keeping Bella warm in the tent up like in
Yeah.
the mountain peak where they're keeping her safe from Victoria or whatever the fuck. And he's like, first of all, he didn't change into wolf form to keep her warm, which seems like absurd. But it's like Edward is looking at them spooning, and Jacob's all like up on one arm so he
Yeah.
could be in camera view
Yeah.
and like deeply
I
uncomfortable.
I thought
I
that
did like him with longer hair more.
yeah. Well, yeah. I thought that yeah, it's weird because I would say like overall Edward's probably more my like type physically and like ethos wise. But I mean, Jacob's like, you know, all the Jacob taking shirt off scenes, you're just like, Jesus Christ. He's
Are we?
so hot. I mean, I'm like, wow, you're so hot. But also you gotta remember, he's not, he plays like a teenager, but he's not a fucking teenager, okay?
Yeah. But
I think it's
also, I'm
important to
not.
remember.
That's why I'm into Charlie over anyone, because he's, first of all, he has chest hair.
Yeah.
Number one, has facial hair. Number two,
two.
is over 18. Number three,
Yeah, but well, let's be clear that Taylor Lautner or whatever, well over 18.
Lautner.
I don't know how to say it.
Shark
Anyway,
Boy.
Shark Boy.
Yeah, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
What does that mean?
It's a movie but directed by Robert Rodriguez, the guy who did Spy Kids. Anyway,
We talk about Spy Kids and Robert Rodriguez every episode on this podcast. Regardless, I thought that scene with Bella in the tent freezing to death was so funny because both of them were just letting her freeze to death.
yeah.
And then I was like, this is not good.
It like sums up the entire love triangle, because it's both of them watching her suffer while just fighting with each other
Yes.
over like ownership of her,
Yes.
while completely disregarding her needs.
Yes. I think that this movie definitely like goofed up a lot of people in the head.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean, the entire, is it 50 Shades is the fanfic of Twilight?
Yes.
Right?
I just learned that.
Yeah, so that's like a whole like what? Like that's terrible.
I
Like,
I don't think that 50 Shades goofed people up as much as Twilight did.
okay, how do you think Twilight goofed people up?
Because there is no like, because like 50 Shades Grey's like it only works within like a BDSM container. So it's like, wow, yes, it promoted people to do BDSM poorly. You need a whip and a chain, to do the movie. You need to get in a BDSM world. Whereas like Twilight is like, that's like the ethos is of, two men making, some woman freeze to death because of ego.
And then claiming the woman by marrying, impregnating, and turning her into a vampire.
Yeah, and then Jacob getting so angry when he found out that they like had sex. It's like like she's like broken goods or something now. I was like, ah.
And also then Jacob taking wolfy ownership, quote unquote, over their child.
Yeah.
Which is a whole thing.
Yeah, so okay, so at that point because I feel like there's this kind of shift with the series where in movie 5 they all kind of grow up. Really like a lot. Like they all kind of level up in like the next phase of life. Like they're no longer like kids, quote unquote, and they're in the next phase. But I feel like I would be happy that Jacob would want to protect my sweet Renesmee, because that means that all of the wolf would want to protect sweet Renesmee.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like it seems like a win-win scenario.
I think it's like, what I think about it that messes me up is that the implication, which is more than implication, it like is what happens, is that Jacob is supposed to like they're supposed to be a couple later once she's old enough.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
Bad.
So he was literally there when she was born, and then imprinted knowing that like he was like, that's his child bride.
See,
he's supposed to take care of her until then.
See, I didn't know that until I got told that, because I feel like that's not stated in the movie.
It is. It's like someone has like a vision, or Jacob shows them a vision, or Alice should, whatever.
Jacob
Someone
has a
so
vision. He
yeah,
sees like her getting older. But in that
yeah.
vision, it's never them together.
Why?
Everyone, Cam's going to take a minute. Oh, we're back. But in that vision, it's never. Is it your camera going to sleep?
No.
In that vision, it's. I don't believe it's ever them together. Or if it was, I didn't think about it like that or something.
I thought they were like walking down a beach holding hands in the vision or something.
I don't remember, but hey, if to be clear, I think that's not okay and weird.
Yeah,
And why
I
would
mean,
they put that in
absolutely.
there?
Because then they couldn't just leave Jacob solo. He couldn't be solo Polly, you know? It's not for everyone. So they had to give him something there, and it was like, oh, like you can't have Bella, but you can have Bella Jr.
I guess it's weird because I also think about like I don't really think about Edward and Bella being together anymore because I feel like once they did finally get together, get married, honeymoon, have baby, Renesmee, they they kind of like and then she got by the whole thing. Now she's a vampire. I don't think that they're like together and in love in the same way. They feel different now. They feel like they're like kind of friendlier now. It feels
Do
like all that tension went away that was
well,
there
yeah, because
before.
they
Will they? Won't they?
they yeah, exactly. It's like in a relationship when you're just like obsessed with the chase, and then you get the thing, and you're like, actually, I don't really want this because it's not
Yeah,
exciting.
I did think that they made her look like bad so like well. Like it was pretty incredible how they they made her look so bad.
Oh, the emaciated CGI.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty horrifying. And then the fact
Yeah.
that like her dad visits, I'm pretty sure while she looks like shit, and it's just like, I'm chill, I'm fine, like everything's cool. Oh
I
wait, no, he doesn't. They don't let him. He doesn't come to visit until after she has the baby and gets turned, and then she's all like has to practice being human. Like she has to practice how many times you blink.
move your shoulders up and down. Well, the other thing too is that Jacob really does kind of save the situation because I feel like because Jacob goes and shows Hama Wolf, making it to where Bella doesn't have to say, "Hey, I'm vampire" to her dad.
But does he know that vampires exist? I
I don't
forget.
know. He doesn't. Charlie has
That's obscene.
Charlie doesn't know vampires exist. And if you remember in the first movie, maybe the second movie, there's all these murblers going around where people are showing up dead and they think that
Marblers.
there's a serial murbler around doing
Mhm.
like in the town. The whole town's scared, but it's really vampires, new vampires coming in.
Yeah,
Remember?
it's not a wild animal killing the people. It's just the Victoria's crew.
So they don't even know. They don't even know that a vampire is real.
And they do go on the hunt with like Jacob's not is it it's not his dad, maybe it's his grandpa or something, and he like covers shit up so that, like stuff isn't discovered. But that's just absurd to me because also like so God, I wish I had researched this before. So the Cullens are in high school yet again, which one is just such a weird choice to like be a vampire and choose to go to high school over and over and over, like in totality, because they graduate so many times. There's all those
Yeah,
graduation caps
that was cool.
in the Cullen house. I mean, sure, but like I know it's like so they seem normal to society or whatever, but also like why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, we're homeschooled, or like
Well,
I don't know.
I think that if you were in Edward's case, you would probably want to do stuff. Like you'd want routine. You'd want to do stuff. And also, I think the other thing is like it doesn't really matter. Like I don't think they have to like take it seriously. It doesn't matter. But they do talk about like the Cullens in school. They have a little group. So they
Yeah,
are like going. But then again, they meet Bella, so it's like that's the reason why they got to keep going. I guess I didn't think about the fact that all of them did go to high school.
yeah, and they've also like Edward has multiple college degrees as well, so like they've gone through all of it multiple times, And like, yeah, having a routine is good, but like, you really want your routine to be going to fucking high school? Like, that's insane. And wouldn't it just be like mind numbing to be this like centuries old being that has seen
Yeah.
like wars and like things that like adults in this like present moment cannot fathom, and you're hanging out with a bunch of like 13 to 17-year-olds
In my
and
mind, go on. Sorry, go
no,
on.
that's it.
In my mind, and this is something I did think about, is I think that they do on and off years. I think they'd probably be like, I'm gonna go to school for 4 years. And then they might
Mhm.
not for 10 years. Then they might go for 4 years. And they might not for another 20 years. Like that's how that's what I projected on it. I was like, it would be
I
fun to
just
go to high school. Like let's say you were your age forever.
Mhm.
Like, would you? I mean, maybe go to high school again.
No,
You've been alive for 200 years.
I would go to college over high school.
But I think it might be fun to just see, like, I mean, in the beginning of this, like we were talking about, um, if they roll out the TV with the movie in it, it's like you
Yeah,
can just go see what's up. I don't know. And then on a college would be fun too. I don't know. I feel like you just want to like do stuff. I mean,
probably, yeah.
like, you're like way too old to go to high school, but like, you definitely do college, but I guess you could.
College would be cool. I could see that. But also then that they move every 4 years, I suppose, which seems just like awful. I don't know. And to just be like the whole family up and moves every 4 years, and then you hope you go somewhere where people don't know you, where you're like doing high school again. And you run into people from like I went to Spain and ran into someone that I went to Brown with one time.
Yeah.
Like
When
you'd run into someone somewhere.
when when they when they gave the passports to Renesmee and or I say Nessie and Jacob, I thought to myself, I'm like, how are they gonna hide? Like there's like vampires everywhere. Like
Yeah. Also,
I
does
don't.
she have does Nessie have a social security number? Like, what's the deal here?
Yeah.
Like, they're just living off the grid completely, which is
Something
not really like possible.
something I am curious about is, so I thought that it was really sad when they kept, like, one of the parts I was truly invested in was them having to be like, we need to call Charlie and like tell
Mhm.
him that Bella's dead, so like Charlie can move on. And it's just like in that moment you think to yourself like, you're alive for eternity. So like you've got to say goodbye to the people, and those people are only is like are going to like, phase out. So it's like you're kind of ruining someone's life, and it's like Charlie's life is going to be forever different. And it's
Yeah.
like, damn, like I don't want to have to watch this scene of Charlie learning that, Bella's dead and Bella's not. So I was like really happy that Jacob figured out a way. But then it makes you curious because you're like, how is, like, when are they going to acknowledge that Bella doesn't get older?
Yeah, and the kid ages at an incredibly rapid pace.
I feel like that was something that I wish that we would have talked about. Because
I
even,
feel like
what?
Charlie's just like, all right, that's chill. Like he just accepts it.
I guess he does know that something's different.
Yeah. I mean, like you'd have to. That's why I prefer the vampire stories that take the easy way of like an interview with the vampire. Louis, who's Brad Pitt's character, gets turned because he has like nothing left
Mhm.
like in life. Like he gets chosen by Lestat and turned, but like he doesn't have like family or like anything at all to be like, oh, I gotta pretend I don't exist to this person now. It's just not. It would be impossible to do it in the day and age of
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
with longer life expectancies.
Yeah. And like social media.
True. I couldn't live without my social media. I'd be on there all the time, being like, "Just got more filler and Botox. Stay young."
They'd be like, wow, you're really cold.
Yeah, I am. Honestly, that wouldn't be that much different
Yeah.
than real life.
Yeah, me too. Um,
I do still want to know. We're probably like getting to wrapping up time sometime soon, but I want to know what your favorite stupid vampire side character was that was at the final
oh,
battle.
oh, nice, nice. Oh yeah, you did ask that.
Yeah, you may have to look
Well,
him up, but
well, I
I
thought
don't know.
that the Irish ones were really goofy.
I don't know if I even remember
They
like
had like
what
pretty. It was pretty funny.
what were their powers.
They were just Irish.
Their powers that they were just Irish.
Yeah, I believe it was like an Irish type of not power, but
Fun.
situation at least.
I gotta look it up. I bet someone was named fucking Seamus or something. Like really.
There was I now here's a question I actually have while you look it up. There was a lady that went and tattled that they had Renesmee.
Yeah, the
Why?
cousins from Denali.
Why? Why did they?
Because her she's like loyal to the Voltari and stuff and wanted them to like her, and also they killed the fucking cool, possibly only black vampire of like the whole fucking movie, I think maybe.
Yes.
Who was like in Victoria's crew, but he was like kind of cool.
Yes.
The Cullens killed him, and that was like her boyfriend, I think, or something.
Yes.
That
was early.
So she was bummed about that. Yeah. Also, that girl plays a little bitch and everything. So
I think it's Voltaire, right?
Voltari.
I think it's Voltaire.
Okay.
Listen, I just saw it, and I don't know, but I'm sure that the comment section will blow up, knowing that maybe there's a different way to sing it. Anyway, let's see. What was my favorite of them? Oh, there's this one. He was really hot. What was the hot one? Oh shit!
Is it Remy Malek or Lee Pace?
No, it's not Remy Malek. He had a cool power though. Who's Lee Pace? It's like he was like kind of like a dirty rockery one.
Yes, that's Lee Pace.
That was hot vampire.
He's one of he was like in England or something when they found him.
Yeah,
I forget.
Oh yeah,
I like the Romanian gays that have the crazy ham-fisted accents.
What are they
like being like, we are here to help you,
yes.
Cullens. And you're like,
they come at the end, right?
Yeah, they like pop up out of like they weren't necessarily invited. They kind of just pop up in the woods, being like, "We heard there was a war," and like are all like very silly.
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the parts of the movies when everyone like kind of. I didn't enjoy the internal issues like Jacob and Edward fighting. Like, get the fuck over it. But I did enjoy when everyone had to work together to fight the Volturi or whatever.
I'm just looking at the Irish coven's names. Make me feel racist to Irish people because it's Siobhan, Liam, and Maggie. Good names.
Great names. I thought that the yeah. I'm trying to think of the other. I did think it was
So
like
oh yeah.
I wish that they would have you. I'm just thinking about the other people at the end. I wish that they would have used like the like Amazonian women's. I think they're like Amazonian, where like she could make anyone be in like a different place. They never used that really, like except to Edward once. But I wish that they would use
a ton of them.
Yeah, they should. They use Rami Malek's or whatever because he splits the world and people start falling into it.
Yeah,
but I wish that they would have used hers because hers is really neat.
There's
she also looks so cool.
There's the Olympic Coven, which is the Cullens, as we know, and then it is Volturi, Volturi. I'm just saying, Coven.
This just in.
This actually is pronounced Volturi. The experts are telling us right now. With Michael Sheen looking the most unattractive he's ever looked, which is absurd to me because he's so hot in Underworld when he plays a werewolf. Anyway, and then there's the Denali Coven, which is like a whole bunch of them. The Amazon Coven, the Egyptian Coven, the Romanian coven, the Irish coven, the Mexican coven, which I don't remember at all,
I
and then
remember
the
that.
nomads.
Was
Weird smattering.
you know, I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I watched it.
In summation,
I'm happy. I think it was good. I think it was a good thing for everyone. Me included.
would you ever watch them again? Would you introduce someone else to Twilight?
If like you ever, well, okay. It would be fun if we could watch them all in like one day.
Yeah, I would do that.
Like it would be nice to, like, let's say, you know, we've got to go to somewhere and we got a day to kill. Pop on the Twilights.
I should just go get top surgery again and we can watch it instead, like all of it instead of
Lost.
like Lost or something.
I would love for you to grab another surgery. They're fun.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What do you want to get? You can get I don't know.
I'm gonna get a hysterectomy eventually, so we'll do it after that.
Yeah, but that's probably gonna be local. Where are you gonna go?
No, what? Oh, like I think you meant local anesthesia. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Take an
No.
organ out.
No, it's gonna be like, it's not. We don't have to go somewhere. It's just gonna. I mean, you're.
No,
I mean,
it'll
well,
be
like,
here.
I guess I can still go. Like, we can still come over.
Yeah, I'll be like laid up still for like a few days.
Nice.
Like
I'm gonna ask the doctor to really make sure you're laid out so we can have some time to watch some stuff.
Hit the anesthesia hard.
Doc, can I get something in a to-go bag, and I'll just feed it to you.
Little Slurpee, little Capri Sun of anesthesia. That's how they do it.
A little Capri Sun. Well, people, listen. There is a saying around here that even if you're shook
or you're creamed,
it doesn't matter to us too much. Just as long.
It doesn't matter what kind of corn you are, just as long as.
There's a lot of different varieties of corn. Make sure your variety is
kind corn.
That's right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being a part of the Corn Corner.
It's a chaotic episode.